Hello, and welcome to celiac.com news. Subscribe to our channel to get the latest celiac disease and gluten-free diet news. And if you have any questions, be sure to join the celiac.com forum online at celiac.com. And now, let's move on to the latest celiac.com news. Are gluten-free processed foods making you sick? The gluten-free boom has made life easier for millions of people with celiac disease and gluten sensitivity. Grocery aisles are now packed with gluten-free breads, pastas, cookies, and frozen meals, an incredible change from just a decade ago. But not every gluten-free product is good for your health. Many of these foods are highly processed, loaded with sugar, refined starches, and additives that can do more harm than good. Being gluten-free doesn't always mean eating healthy, and this growing trend has created what many now call gluten-free junk food. Over the past 10 years, gluten-free foods have evolved from a medical necessity into a global industry worth billions. At first, this growth was a lifeline for people who needed safe food options. But as big brands jumped in to meet demand, they began producing gluten-free versions of nearly every popular snack and dessert. To imitate the texture and taste of gluten-containing foods, many companies turned to cheap fillers and industrial processing. The result was a flood of products that technically meet gluten-free standards, but lack the nutrition that real, whole foods provide. When manufacturers remove gluten, they must replace it with something else to make the product hold together. That something often includes refined starches such as rice flour, potato starch, tapioca starch, or corn flour, ingredients that are low in fiber and high in simple carbohydrates. These foods digest quickly, causing spikes and crashes in blood sugar. To make up for lost flavor, extra sugar is added, and unhealthy fats or preservatives are used to extend shelf life. Even though they are labeled gluten-free, these foods can still contribute to fatigue, digestive discomfort, and inflammation when eaten regularly. It's easy to be misled by labels and marketing. Many gluten-free packages use green colors, leaves, or words like pure and natural, making them look healthy. But the gluten-free label simply means that a product doesn't contain wheat, barley, or rye. It doesn't guarantee balanced nutrition. For example, a gluten-free cookie might look wholesome, but compared to a bowl of vegetables and brown rice, it offers little fiber or vitamins. For those newly diagnosed with celiac disease, the excitement of finally being able to eat safely can lead to overindulging in these processed foods, which can slow healing and cause new problems such as weight gain or nutrient deficiencies. Sugar is one of the biggest culprits. When companies remove gluten, they often rely on added sugar to replace the flavor and structure it provides. Studies have found that many gluten-free packaged foods contain up to 30% more sugar than similar gluten-containing products. Over time, this extra sugar can cause energy swings, weight gain, and higher risks of insulin resistance or chronic inflammation. For people recovering from celiac disease, too much sugar can also feed harmful bacteria in the gut and slow intestinal healing. Another issue is hidden nutrient deficiency. Gluten-free flours are often not enriched with vitamins and minerals like wheat flour is, meaning they lack key nutrients such as iron, folate, and B vitamins. Since people with celiac disease already struggle with nutrient absorption, relying too much on gluten-free processed foods can worsen fatigue and other health problems. Naturally gluten-free foods like quinoa, lentils, vegetables, and nuts are much richer in fiber and nutrients and help restore a healthy balance in the gut. The good news is that it's completely possible to follow a gluten-free diet that supports real health. The key is to focus on foods that are naturally gluten-free instead of relying on processed replacements. Fresh fruits, vegetables, beans, eggs, fish, nuts, seeds, and unprocessed meats all fit perfectly into a balanced gluten-free diet. Whole grains such as quinoa, brown rice, millet, amaranth, and gluten-free oats provide steady energy and important nutrients. Cooking more at home can also make a big difference. You'll avoid hidden additives, reduce cross-contamination risk, and have full control over what goes into your meals. When you shop, read ingredient lists carefully. Look for short, recognizable ingredients and watch for high amounts of sugar, starch, or hydrogenated oils. Enjoy gluten-free cookies or crackers as occasional treats rather than daily staples, and build most of your meals around fresh, whole foods. For people with celiac disease or gluten sensitivity, this approach can make a huge difference. Healing the gut isn't just about removing gluten, it's also about feeding the body nutrient-rich foods that promote recovery and strengthen the immune system. Even those who don't have celiac disease but feel better without gluten may find that cutting out processed gluten-free products improves their energy, digestion, and mood. If you're still feeling tired, bloated, or unwell despite eating gluten-free, it might be time to look beyond gluten itself and focus on food quality. Try tracking your meals for a week to see how much of your diet comes from packaged foods. Start replacing one processed item per day with a whole food option. Drinking more water and staying active can help reduce inflammation and balance blood sugar. For extra support, a dietitian who specializes in celiac disease can help you design a plan that restores nutrients and energy without sacrificing flavor or convenience. The takeaway is simple. Gluten-free does not always mean healthy. The rise of gluten-free processed foods has made dining easier, but it has also created new health pitfalls. A gluten-free lifestyle should be about nourishing your body, not just avoiding gluten. By choosing fresh, naturally gluten-free ingredients most of the time and limiting packaged snacks, you can reclaim the benefits of a gluten-free diet and feel better from the inside out. For people living with celiac disease or gluten sensitivity, that means more than avoiding gluten. It means embracing food that truly supports healing, balance, and lifelong well-being. To get the latest celiac disease news and information, be sure to subscribe to celiac.com news. Thank you for tuning in and see you next time.